Nebraska has finished up at Big Ten Media Days. We go out to Indianapolis with our guy Greg Peterson from Husker Online, who of course joins us every Tuesday night. This is our show between Greg and I. We bring you Nebraska Live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern and 7 Central, so we hope you'll join us then. And now Greg gives us a little bonus edition here. This is nice, straight from Indy, from Big Ten Media Days. Hey man, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, we just wrapped up the day, and all in all, pretty fun day. It was nice to finally get to see some of our brothers and sisters in the media from other schools and stuff like that. So nice to see everybody again, and football's starting up here very quickly.
So Greg, I would say let's start from the top, but today I'll say let's even start from a step above the top. Going beyond the head coach, since Trev Alberts was there, and of course he just got the athletic director position. What did he have to say that stood out?
Well, number one with Trev, he's just so well spoken, and he really represents the University of Nebraska in a positive way. It's kind of funny here because he did play for the Indianapolis Colts here on that field, and he kind of joked a little bit that his name wasn't up there in the Ring of Fame, and Jim Harbaugh was. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, he just backed up everything that people really been asking about. He's 100% behind Scott Frost, and you can tell that he cares so much about this place, and that I think it. Today, with his remarks, I think it kind of put the question to rest that is he the right guy for the job. I was totally convinced after today that there's absolutely no question that he should be running the show. And, I think it's just going to make the whole university athletic program shine in even a brighter light than it already does.
Anytime an athletic director or head coach takes over a program, they'll typically meet with the local media, but this is the first time that Trev Alberts has addressed on an even bigger, grander stage the entire conference and to a large extent the entire nation. So did he have any type of storyline or way in which he would like to see the program head? In terms of, could you read between the lines in regards to maybe some things that he believes need to be changed?
Kind of hard to say. I mean, he didn't really want to get into brass tacks too much because, he's really only been on the job for 3 days. So he's still trying to familiarize himself with things now. He joked that I can't remember who it was, that somebody had asked him to have lunch with him the other day. And he couldn't find the training table. He got lost trying to find the training table. So, I just think that, with as much as he cares about this university, that, he understands how bad things were when Coach Frost got here. And there's still things that are trying to be worked out. Because there was a lot of things behind the scenes that people didn't realize that were really not very good, being left over by the previous regimes. So, he didn't talk in front of the whole place. It was just a side interview with pretty much all Nebraska people. A few other guys had found their way over there. So it was more of a local flavor to it, and he knows all of us and stuff. So he's really comfortable with a lot of us already, and it's such a kind of a neat deal. Just having two former players that are running the show now, and people that deeply care about the University of Nebraska and want things to work out.
And you make a great point, because for as close as he is to the school, of course, it's his school, and the ties that he has always maintained. When you have other jobs and you're in other locations, there's going to be a certain disconnect, because we just sometimes assume that somebody like that, like a Trev Alberts, is so ingrained in Nebraska culture that he just shows up and everything's the same and he can just hit the ground running. But yeah, some things are the same. Some people that he remembers are the same, but people change, generations change, the locations change. There are differences. Technology changes, all those things change. So it's not exactly the same place that he left.
No, and I think also it's kind of neat to see that, he after spending 11, 12 years on ESPN, he knows everybody. So it was funny to see him interacting. I mean, so many people come up and shook his hand and gave him a hug and stuff, and it's just kind of a neat thing to see with somebody who's so dialed in and knows the game in and out, which is only going to help things, I think, down the road. And there was some other questions that were asked of him, about sellout streak, stuff like that, and there's. I guess the fans want paper tickets when they want to move to mobile passes for the games and stuff. And so there's a lot of things that he's got to kind of look into and, get things going here. I think it's kind of funny, too, that he drove up here himself because he kind of wanted to spend a little extra time here because the team's already flying back tonight. The three players and Coach Frost are flying back tonight. And Trev's just going to kind of take his own time and drive home. And, so it was just neat to see him interacting with everybody and being such a well-known person in the world of football really doesn't hurt at all.
Well, yeah, there's a layer to his job because of the status that he has in the position that relates more to the conference than it does just the University of Nebraska and the athletic program there, where he has to work with the other athletic directors and make some decisions and know what's going on elsewhere in the conference. So definitely a good point there.
And I think also, I think one of the biggest stances that he took today, and you heard it from both him and Coach Frost, is that they're totally 100% backing the Big Ten. With all the news of Texas and Oklahoma wanting to leave the Big 12 for the SEC, it's very important that Nebraska has that relationship with the Big Ten, and like we've said here all along, that they're not going anywhere. I know people ask all the time, or should they go back to the Big 12? But you know what? If Texas and Oklahoma leave the Big 12, there's not going to be a Big 12 anymore. So there's a lot of moving parts going on with college football right now, as we all know. And so they took that stance there, a hard line, to kind of putting any of those rumors to rest. That Nebraska is solidly a member of the Big 12 or Big 10, and that's where they're going to stay.
Okay, Greg Peterson on the line from Rivals Husker Online. They're at Indianapolis in the Big Ten Media Days. Greg and I get together every Tuesday night to talk Huskers football. So lock it on here. We are live every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern and 7 Central. So before we grind it down to the 21 Nebraska team, there had to be a lot of buzz around the various media circles about the Texas-Oklahoma news.
Yeah, that was a hot topic all day. I think every head coach that spoke today was asked about it. Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren was asked about it. So that was one of the big questions. With the other hot topic questions is COVID protocols for the year and expansion as far as the playoffs, and then conference realignment. So those were your four hot topics of the day for any school that was available today.
So now we'll get to the 21 Huskers. Scott Frost, his comments. Was there any particular theme, anything that you could tell that he really wanted to get across? He
sticking to his guns, backing his players. He was asked several times about position groups and everything, and He had nothing but great things to say. He said his receiving core is the best he's ever had here, and it's by far the most talented room on the team. So I thought that was pretty interesting. What else it sounds like Thomas Fidone is coming along pretty good, and sounds like he will be able to play at least part of the year this year. Marquise Stepp as well, he said, is about ready to go. So he's been able to work out and everything. And so, and Will Honus, like we think he's going to miss the whole year, but he's actually progressing along there too. So yeah, it was good news on the injury front. And, Coach Frost he doesn't volunteer any information. He keeps things pretty close to the vest. He'd rather talk about his players and, what they need to do to improve. And I just saw a much more laid back and confident Coach Frost today than I've seen really since he's been here. So I think that, he has his team moving in the direction that he wants to. Obviously, there's always things that you need to work on, but I think he's feeling extremely confident going into the season, and he's just kind of trying to put any of those rumors to rest, basically, about his job security and anything like that, because we keep saying around here, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be the coach here unless there's like another 2 years of just disastrous play, which I don't think is going to happen. So, just him and Trev Alberts being on the same page. I guess they've met with 4 or 5 times now already, just in the few days that Trev's had the job, and it looks like, to me, it's like a cohesive unit now, and they're all have one goal in one direction in mind, and I think that's just great for the university.
So, Greg, as you and everybody else met with the players, what did you want to hear from them? What do you actually hear from them? Anything stand out?
In this setting with players, it's kind of funny because you get a lot of other media people asking the players questions that really don't know much about them. So, I think, it's more personal kind of stuff, talking about, your life off of the field kind of stuff, and, your plans for the future. And then, talking about their teammates and everything, and actually against their opponents and stuff. I know Deontay Williams was asked from a Penn State reporter about cover, and I can't remember who it was that he had to cover the whole game, but that's more of the kind of personal stuff that you get into during this, because us local guys, we talk to the players so much that there's not a whole lot that we're really after, just more of insight on what they think is going to unfold this year, and all 3 of these guys are super seniors, and so they came back for a reason. And I think it was funny that where I was set up, and the Big Ten set was right behind where I was sitting, so I could hear Dave Revson all day interviewing people, and he had the Nebraska guys up there right at the end of the day, right when I was about packing my stuff up, that was kind of neat to listen to those guys interact with Dave Revson, and I think that they're all just super excited to put this team back together where they want it to be. And like I was saying, what I was trying to get to is that when Dave Revson had asked them about the old rivalry against Oklahoma, going to go play a old time rival like that, is that all 3 of those guys' eyes just lit up, and they were excited. They can't wait to. I think that might be a reason why that helped them all make a decision to come back and play for a 6th year, to get that chance to go play against Oklahoma.
Yeah, and so we're talking about Austin Allen, Ben Stilley, and Deontay Williams, of course. Yep. And so, Greg, was there anything that you heard out of them, whether it was the conversations with the Big Ten Network or the conversations that all of you guys had, that they pointed to as being what makes them optimistic about this team and this team succeeding?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just with it's the oldest team by far that Coach Frost has had now, and these guys. If you look at these guys, they've won 4 games, and 3 games, and it's about time to have a good season. And I think that they finally feel like the pieces are in place, the depth is there. You always want more depth, but the depth is there, and there's a lot of experience on this team, especially when you have a 4-year starting quarterback returning as well. So all signs point to this being a very confident team. We've seen in years past a Nebraska team that's not confident, and going to play against Iowa. They don't even want to play. The last couple of years, they haven't even wanted to play that game, and the results speak for themselves. Last year, I think they thought they could play with them, and so it was a much better game. But I just see so much confidence out of these guys, and they're just ready and raring to go. They start fall camp a week from today, so it's on, and it's. These guys, after the year they had last year with all the COVID and everything, they're just excited to have things back to normal again, and can forget about all that other extra baggage and just work on football and work on getting better.
Again, Greg and I get together every Tuesday night to chop it up when it comes to Nebraska football, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. So it's right here for you live, and we interact with all your comments and questions, and certainly bring it for us each and every Tuesday night. We're only about 5 weeks away from football, Nebraska and Illinois. Greg Peterson in Indianapolis, Big Ten Media Days, going to head on back, I guess, now, Greg. So I appreciate you taking the time out, because I know that it's a quick trip out there and back, and you try to make everything you can and get as much work in and as much footage and interviews in as possible. I've been through that grind, so I appreciate you taking a few minutes out.
Yeah, no problem. And I thought this was the Big Ten's always done this in Chicago, and this is the first time it's been in Indianapolis. And I think the consensus out of everybody is they love the setup here. Because usually you're in Chicago, you're in a hotel, and just doing everything in ballrooms of a hotel, and this was all out on the field in Lucas Oil Stadium, which I don't know if everybody know. I mean, obviously the Big Ten championship game is played there, but the College Football Playoff national championship game is being played here this year too. And just a great setup. A little more bare bones than usual. No big luncheon or anything going on, but this made it for us, for the media guys. I think this setup was outstanding, and we hope that they make a bid to keep doing this here from now on. So it was great to finally get back here, since last time we were in that stadium was the one time Nebraska did play in the Big Ten title game, and that's been a long time now. So it was kind of neat to get back in there.
Kevin Warren, you heard it. Greg says, let's keep this thing in Indianapolis. It's much better venue.
Yep.
There we go. All right, Greg. Safe travels coming back. We will see you Tuesday night.
Sounds good. Take care.